And my son's dad had been trying to convince me to go to Mexico for quite some time. And I remember saying, absolutely not. I will never live in Mexico. Do not ask me again. I'm not moving to Mexico. I will look at everywhere but Mexico. Hi, my name's Annie. I'm from Calgary, and I moved to Mexico just over 4 years ago now. One thing that did completely surprise me about moving here was how much simpler it was to adjust than I was expecting. Well, when I left Canada, I actually didn't come to Mexico originally. I went to the States for 3 months, and in that time I was researching everywhere but Mexico. I was not coming to live in Mexico. So I researched Costa Rica, Panama, Uruguay. When the decision was made to come to Mexico, it was just like, okay, let's go. Got here, a little bit of a culture shock. It's like, oh yeah, I drove past here on vacation once. And that was it. It was just a you're in or you're out. And so it was, I can complain about the things I didn't like if all I wanted, but it wouldn't make it any easier. So let's just go with it. And it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, but it's not always that easy. My son's dad was dead set on coming to Bucerías. He knew somebody here, and that was it. Literally, that was the only reason that I'm in Bucerías. When I was getting here and after I got here, about every hour there was a what the hell am I doing? How did I get here? I don't know if I would say like regrets, because it was too far gone to have regrets. It was like, okay, I'm here now. I'd purged my whole life at home. There was one small storage unit with some really important stuff, so it's like, what am I doing? When the decision was made to leave the States and come to Mexico 3 days later, every moment was just like, what the hell am I doing? Everything happened so fast. It was okay, find schools, find activities, find homes. And now I'm here 4 years later, and I still have moments of like, how did I get here? But like, there's no regrets with it. I don't look back and think, gee, I wish I'd have changed anything. It was just, it's constant. Like, I still can't believe that I'm here 4 years later. So in Canada, my life was what I would call like pretty standard. Went to work, picked up my son from day home, made dinner, rushed, got the things, went to bed, woke up the next day, like very 9 to 5, living the dream kind of life. And then COVID hit. I was one of the first rounds of layoffs in Calgary. And I was actually quite relieved by that, actually. I'd come back from maternity leave to an office job that had changed drastically since I got back. And I didn't want to be there anymore, not in that role. They laid me off. Everyone else was really bummed. And I was like, yes. And I was really grateful. I ended up being able to do consulting in a similar line of work to what I was doing. I managed to find a couple clients really easily, not easily, but relatively quickly. It just all worked out really well. So that was my job. I was consulting, mostly at home with a 1.5-year-old at the time. And that's how I left Canada, was very like work, 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 do the things between work, do more work. When I got here, it was life, 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 trying to figure out life. And now it's steadied, and now it's work and life, but a better balance. I don't know if I'd call it a balance, it's just better. So the reason I left Canada was, it was during COVID. So a lot of people were making a lot of changes. I'd already made a lot of changes, and my son's dad had been trying to convince me to go to Mexico for quite some time. And I remember saying, absolutely not. I will never live in Mexico. Do not ask me again. I'm not moving to Mexico. I will look at everywhere but Mexico. I said, give me some time in the States to like figure it out, get my brain back together. And he said, okay, it would be a lot easier if we just went right to Mexico. And that was are you sure? You want to say that one more time? I got an opportunity to relocate somewhere with the support and with my son's dad, and it was kind of like, why would I pass that opportunity up to completely change my life? I just changed my life in every which way anyway, so what was a different country? Like just a little change. And that was literally why. It was, we'll go to the same place as you. I want my son to have a better life and a different life. And so I thought, he'll get to learn he'll get to learn another language, he'll get to learn another culture. Let's go. And that was it. Just everything was changing anyway, so why not change everything? The hardest part when I first arrived was relocating with puppy, a toddler, my ex, and relocating to a new country all at the same time. And the post that kind of changed everything for me was I was absolutely desperate for friends, for any form of female time, girl time. And I remember putting a post on there. I wish I'd have screenshot it. It was such a desperate plea. It was, hey, if somebody's doing something, please invite me. I'm desperate. It was literally that sad. And someone reached out, another Canadian gal that's also lived here a long time reached out and said, hey, it's not just ladies, but I'm having some friends over at our pool on Sunday if you'd like to come and bring your son. And that was it. Yes, I think people come with unrealistic expectations. You have to come with no expectations, I think, is like, don't have expectations. You set yourself up for failure 100% of the time. I think a lot of people come here and live on vacation mode if they're not from here, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with living on vacation mode. You're spending a lot more money than you probably normally would, and so you're draining your resources a lot faster, so that when reality kind of hits and it takes you longer to find the replacement for your income, and it just hits harder and faster, and that puts more strain on people. But I think that's it. People think that they're coming to live the beach life, and you absolutely can do that, but that's not real life. And so I think people have a vision in their head when they come, and maybe they wanted the similar lifestyle that they had in Canada or the States or wherever they came from, and you can have that, but it might cost a lot more than you had anticipated. Or yes, you want your kid in swimming, but the community center that you had back home looks nothing like the outdoor pool here, where you're fishing out the bumblebees from the pool. Just like it's different. Everything is very different. I think that's what it is people they either don't know what to expect, or they had an expectation but nothing is that expectation, and it can beat you down really, really quickly if you can't pivot. I don't want to say they give up, they just realize, okay, we need to pivot again, and sometimes that pivot is go back. So not to judge or not to say that that's the wrong decision, but I think people are just like panic mode, running out of funds, can't find our vibe, can't find our flow. Let's go back to what we know, and they head back. I don't miss that, and no part of me's ever wanted to go back. And even in my worst, hardest, because I've hit 2 very low times here, the option to go back wasn't even an option. Like, it's an option, but it was not a solution for me. It's like, okay, so I'm gonna hit my low here to go start from an even lower. It was like, no, you committed to this, figure it out. But that's my mindset, and I know that not everybody is able to do that, and it doesn't look pretty. I've had literally people say, wow, it always works out for you. Yeah, you're not seeing the hair pulling, the crying, the freaking out, the low. Nobody's really seeing that low. But no, that's for me, it hasn't been an option to go back. It's figure it out. If you can't figure it out, then go back. I always figure it out. The feel of like that craziness in the day, that's like, get up, you got up late, I forgot to make the lunch for camp, all those things. All of it still seems easier, even though I had the exact same things in Canada. I don't know how to explain why the same crazy making things in Canada all feel easier here. I think it's the energy here that's just different. And it's really hard to explain to people until they get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. If you don't get it, it's hard to explain to people. It's just, traffic is different. I'm not beeping my horn at somebody going 120 kilometers on Deerfoot to rush and get somewhere. You're in stop and go traffic, and 3 cars just cut you off, and one's on your backside, and you're just like, whatever, keep beeping, can't do anything. You're stressed out, but you're not the same stressed out. I don't know how to explain it to people, but most things just feel easier, and I can't explain why that is. I was just talking about this with someone else the other day, and I bought the cheapest on clearance couch I could find on Mercado Libre for a whopping 5,000 pesos. It's ugly, it's uncomfortable, but it gets the job done. I threw a cover on it in hopes that I could get like 3 to 5 years out of it between all the animals and children. And if I was in Canada, I would never have that couch in my house. There's no way I would have that couch in my house. It would be like a painful, uncomfortable eyesore. And I'd be like, wow, I gotta go find something a lot better. So there's this expectation of like, nobody's telling me, ew, your couch is ugly, whether it was here or in Canada. But there's this like, wow, I can't have that couch in my house. And here I'm like, it's good enough, it works. I have a saying that one of my landlords here, he always used to say, pero sirve, it's ugly, es feo, pero sirve, it works. It gets the job done. And so that's my new motto here. It's ugly, but it works. And something that I kind of struggle with is saying Mexico, because Mexico is so different from one part to another, right? So when I go to Mexico City to visit, for example, I feel that returning of that anxiety, that stress, that go, 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 go. I feel it again. It's different here in Bucerías. I prefer the energy here. I mean, I'm more of like an inland person. I'd prefer to be a little bit more inland, but our whole life is here right now. So, but moving here to this part, like the Bay, Bucerías, all of this part of Mexico, you do have to make a conscious decision to like make the things work. What works for you, because some people don't want to embrace the culture, that's fine. You don't have to. You don't have to embrace the frustrations, the struggles that are living here, like running out of propane on a Saturday afternoon and knowing you aren't going to get any until Monday if you're lucky. I remember fighting that so hard when I first got here, like, oh my God, do it in advance. Well, no, what did you forget to fill the tanks in advance? And then every time it's like, holy crap, I can't cook, I can't make coffee, this is the worst weekend. Buy a crappy little electric element. You can boil your water, you can make a couple things. I've learned to use my air fryer to make all the things now. So I have options. So every time, because 99.9% of the time it runs out on a Saturday afternoon when nobody's available to fill your gas tank. Okay, don't fight it, just prepare for it and know that it's coming and laugh at it when it happens. Have the tantrum, have the frustration, have the stress, and move on.
Show us the Mexican style.
Is it actually cheaper living here? I think it all depends on what you want, what your standard of living is. Also, how much are you willing to change your expectations of your living? I know people that have had a really, really, really hard time adjusting to the house that they have here isn't the same level of what they had in Canada. And they want that, and you can have that. You can go live in a nice house anywhere. It doesn't have to be in a gated community, but you could go, if you want the El Tigre lifestyle, go have the El Tigre lifestyle. But the El Tigre lifestyle is gonna cost you. If you want a really nice house, I'm gonna guess you're gonna pay more than what you were paying in Canada. So it really depends. You can absolutely go and rent a little apartment for 5,000 pesos a month in a little complex, maybe not in the tourist zone. Well, guaranteed it's not going to be in the tourist zone. You're going to be a bit more on the outskirts. Yes, you can live cheaper, but is that what you want? Is that what you're going to be happy with? Are you okay driving a beater of a car? Some people can't adjust to that, but not always. So like, for example, my rent here in Mexico so far has been more, I would say more expensive overall than what I paid in Canada, but my propane use, my water, my internet, my phone bill, all of that has been significantly, and electricity even, has been significantly cheaper than what I would have paid in Canada. So yes, living here can be more affordable, but it's not always, depending on what you want. So there's no hard yes or hard no. A huge thing that people don't take into account is having kids. School is out of pocket if you are in private schools here. So it's something, I have a lot of people reach out to me on social media and say, you know, we want to come save money. It's like, well, how many kids do you have and what grades are they in? I can almost guarantee you your cost of living is going to go through the roof. If you're coming with 2-3 kids in elementary, junior high, high school, you're going from, I'll say essentially paying $0 per month for school to possibly a couple grand per month Canadian for school. Huge difference. Do I feel like I belong here? Yeah. Yeah. I love living here. I love my life here. I love the energy here, the culture. The culture was the one thing I knew I was really going to overall like moving here. We lived 1 year in a South American country when I was like 13. And I like the Latin family culture, despite the fact that it screws up your plans a lot of time, where people are like, hey, sorry, I had an emergency. Hey, sorry, I had a family emergency. Hey, sorry. I love that that's a thing here. And so other people understand that more when you're like, sorry, we're not coming. My son's not feeling good, or just need to be with my family today or whatever. Yeah, I feel 100% like I belong here. I can't imagine, I'll never say never, because I never thought I would live here. So I would never say never, I would never go back to Canada, but I honestly can't imagine, feel, or envision going back to that because I feel like I belong here so much. But I can honestly say I never felt like I fully belonged there. So yeah, I would say I definitely feel like I belong here.
You found your place.
Oh yeah, that's so cliche. Hashtag found my place. But yes, yeah, I've definitely found my place. I fit here very well, and I love it. I keep to myself. People keep to themselves, but still, you know, get together. It's different. People live and let live very well here, and I like that. I need that.